And today we're going to be looking at what's been happening in Nigeria. For those who've been seeing hashtags and protest pictures and videos coming out from Nigeria, well, you are in luck because we're going to give you some background and updates on what's been happening in Nigeria. Now, the protest is by young Nigerians against the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, which is a unit in the Nigeria Police Force that has been accused of killings and harassment, on wrongful profiling of Nigerian young persons. If you carry a dread, if you hold an expensive iPhone, or you carry a laptop, you are tagged as a Yahoo boy, which in local parlance means someone who's fraudulent or someone who's involved in tricky business. And these men have somewhat made life very unbearable for young Nigerians. If not, even the women. In fact, women have been facing all kinds of harassment from these police officers, ranging from rape, sexual abuse to battery. And Nigerians have risen up to say enough is enough. The police had um, taken an oath to protect and serve us, and this cannot continue going on. It's been going on for so many years. I remember when I was on the radio, I advocated against this over and over again. I've been a victim. I will play you videos of me being harassed alongside my colleagues. It's a potpourri of issues, and we're going to get into it. But today there are protests all across the country, in different parts of the country, so from the north to the south to the east and the west. And I'm being joined by two people who will be giving us an insight. One is an honor person, and one is a security consultant who also happened to be at the protest today. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Gabriela Ayaw. She is a broadcast journalist with Nigeria Info FM. It's the number one talk radio in Nigeria. Gabriela, it's good to have you join us. Thank you so much for staying. I know you just finished your show, but I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me as well.
And also, we're being joined by Taibo Joseph. He is a security consultant who lives in River State, Nigeria, and he also was part of the protest today in Port Harcourt. Taibo, it's good to have you join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, MARYANN. Hello, everyone.
All right, so I'm going to start with Gabriela. But before we do that, I'd like to say thank you to all those who are joining us live. Thank you, Mark Goldman, for joining us. So this conversation goes straight into the thick of things, the protest. Gabriela, you were on the radio. The story that hit most Nigerians yesterday was that the governor of the state who complained over the years about these special anti-robbery squad, these men who have been terrorizing River State, all of a sudden decided to ban protests, which is constitutionally the right of every Nigerian, to peaceful protest. He decided that nobody should protest in River State. It kind of whipped up all kinds of sentiments. An honor person, I'm sure that this was one of the top stories that you dealt with on the radio today. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean it's quite the day here in Port Harcourt. I mean uh, the posture of Rivers young people here has been upbeat. As early as 6 a.m., I began to see posts of young Nigerians here in River State who had already got into the protest at takeoff point. That's a pleasure park here in Port Harcourt. As early as 7 a.m., there were reports that a lot of young people were already at the pleasure park, and some said indeed they had seen some security men already on standby. Even though last night we did hear that some of these policemen who were stationed at the pleasure park in Port Harcourt were redeployed, but as of this morning, there were still some policemen at the arena. But what I find quite interesting is the number of people who came out for the protest today, regardless of the ban as announced by the Commissioner for Information last night here in River State, Paulinus in Surin. It was quite fascinating. A lot of young people were out. I spoke to quite a number of them on radio today. I mean, at intervals, I kept speaking with some of the protesters, with our news correspondents who were on ground to cover the protest. And I mean, the spirit of the young people is undeterred. That's something I can say. They are undeterred, and they have vowed not to leave the government house gate until the governor of the state, Governor Nyesom Wike, attends to them. Yeah, I did try to reach some of them. I've been trying so hard throughout the day to reach many of them actually, but for some reason they either unavailable or are unwilling to speak about the matter. I actually also tried to reach out to the Commissioner for Information as well, in the person of Paulinus in Syrian, but for some reason they've just been unavailable to speak. Even though there were quite some reports that the governor ensured, though unconfirmed, but that there were reports flying around social media that he had ensured that there was security on guard to ensure that no protester was violated or abused or harassed, though yet unconfirmed as we speak. But indeed, there were police officers, there were security officials on ground. I did see some videos where there were police vans at station points while the protest was ongoing, with policemen just standing around. So um, as unable as I was to speak to any of them, the body language of the government seems somewhat cooperative so far.
Yeah.
Not meant it when he said, I do not want you to protest. In the words of the governor, he said, we ask that SARS be banned, and SARS has been banned. So what are you protesting for? So as a protester, I'm asking, what made you go out, and what would be your response to that statement by the governor of Rivers State?
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. For me, as a protester, I went out to protest because I know that end SARS protest is not just about SARS, it is beyond SARS. Right? The end SARS protest, as a matter of fact, points out, it reflects the deep rooted issues that we have as a people, as Nigerians. So, those are foundational problems in Nigerians' development. Is reflected, one of these expressions is SARS and the police brutality. So now the police brutality and SARS has gotten to the point where we as Nigerians, as citizens of this country, we say enough is enough. Right? We have every right to protest. So even when the governor decided he had no right as a governor, as a matter of fact, to obstruct the citizens from protesting, because in this case, what we're protesting about and has to do, it is not a selfish protest. We're not protesting that you increase our salary. We're not protesting that you give us 100% power, but we are protesting that we should have peace to go about our business. So I went out as a Nigerian first, beyond every other cap that I wear in the society. First, as a Nigerian, as one that have also gone through a bad experience. I have family members, I have friends that have gone through the bad experience through the police brutality. And I went out also knowing that beyond the ban of SARS, now we are talking about the reform of the police. So, as a private security professional, I am interested in it because I have the opportunity to relate with men and officers of the Nigerian police force and other armed forces agencies. And I know the pitiable situation and the welfare conditions that they have. So, I'm here to say, no, we shouldn't politicize this. We should stand up as a community. So we expect also that the governor should be part of us. As a matter of fact, to send out a strong warning to ensure that the protest is peaceful. And so far, believe me, the protest has been peaceful. And we've had more people still waiting at the government house, and we're in Port Harcourt expecting the governor to come and address the protesters. Yeah. Yes, as a matter of fact, I had second thoughts about it, right? But we've thought ourselves, and I've told myself that I need to do it afraid. And a lot of persons I've talked with, even during the protest, you could find out that some young people, some youths, during the protest, they kept screaming, "If we stay behind, they kill us." Right? Even in our homes, they come and they kill us. Even the stray bullets will kill us. So why not we come out? So if we perish, we perish. If we die, we die. So it is better that we die standing, and it is better that we die with our voice out, we speaking, instead of everyone going back about our business like nothing will happen. And truthfully, we just needed, as a matter of fact, I had a conversation with my son before I decided to do this. I was explaining to him I was going for a protest. I had to tell him so he will remember if anything was to happen to me. And he said, "Don't go." He was in tears and said, "Don't go. What if they shoot you?" I said, "I have to go." Because when I think about it, what will happen tomorrow? So if our parents did not make the sacrifice for us to have a better today in Nigeria, then we today we should start this move. Let us teach ourselves how to protest. Let us teach ourselves this new art of using our voice, because we have our voice. We live in a world that we are blessed to have the internet and social media and every other platform. So now, Nigerians, we are learning to use our voice. One day at a time, we're doing this. So we are doing it afraid. We are concerned, but we're deciding that it is going to be a peaceful protest. But at least we should do it afraid and start protesting, because our voice matters and it will count someday.
Okay. Gabriela, back to you as a journalist and as someone who has had first-hand experience with these men and officers from this very deadly unit. I mean, they've been called all kinds of names: animals in uniforms, devils in uniforms, all sorts of things. There has also been statements from people saying that the average Nigerian youth does not have the staying power to keep pushing other than ending SARS. Because I mean, I'm going to play a video by Wizkid that he was telling. I mean, the protests were all over the country. We had protests in America, in Germany. We had protests in the UK, led by some very famous celebrities from Nigeria. And Wizkid did say to the people in the UK that it showed what this what has happened as a result of the fact that the government has disbanded this unit. It means that we are. It means. Oh, did you say the governor is finally addressing protesters?
Yes, the governor is finally addressing the protester. I just got that information now.
Okay. Thank you very much for letting us know. We will continue to see if we can track the events that are happening at Government House and continue to talk about it. But Gabriel, I'm going to come back to you. I think we're having a little connection issue here. Just guys, stay. We're going to try and reconnect. If this works. Okay, great. Apologies. We lost connection for a little bit. Terrible. Are you back here? Okay, great, guys. We're gonna go back
Yes,
to
I'm here.
we had a little problem with connection on the app. Let's see if we can get back on. We're still it's still trying to connect us back to the live. Just give us a second. Let me see if Peter can help us. No problem. I don't know what's happening. Our connection is no longer telling us that it's connecting, but it's not. Sorry guys, just a second. We'll fix this. Okay, we are back, but then I do think that we are live. But let's just keep having our conversation. I sent a message to Peter. Hopefully, we can get back on live. I don't know. Anyway, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now the problem is I don't know if we are live, and I'm trying to see what, because it's just, yes, I don't think we're live anymore.
The-
I think I need to end this broadcast and start it all over again.